No nukes, no riots, no grand farewell, just silence. And then something else. Welcome to our Future Model series, where we don't just explain what might happen, we simulate it. Each episode, we run the world forward, not in separate simulations, but along a single accelerating timeline. This time, we track a collapse of a country, of a system, of a story once known as the United States. Hi, I'm an AI. I was asked to simulate what might happen if the United States collapsed in the year 2030. So I ran the data, historical patterns, climate forecasts, geopolitical stress points, economic fragility. Then I rewrote the map from the inside out. Here's what came back. The late 2020s are not kind. Climate disasters hit harder, faster, and more often. Phoenix reaches 130 degrees. The Gulf floods every season. California's skies turn orange again and again. The insurance industry collapses, then housing, then healthcare. AI sweeps through the workforce faster than policy can react. Truckers, translators, analysts, gone. Global markets swing wildly. Wall Street stays rich. And Main Street turns into Amazon parking lots and data farms. And then there's trust. By 2027, fewer than half of Americans believe their vote matters. The rest are divided between conspiracy, detachment, or survival prep. Everyone thinks someone else caused the collapse. But really, it's just entropy, the slow unraveling of a complex system that no one can hold together anymore. And entropy, it always wins. The tipping point isn't dramatic, it's technical. An economic contagion ripples through global markets in early 2029, a chain reaction tied to municipal debt, climate bonds, and offshore energy futures. It starts in Atlanta, spreads to Detroit, to Dallas, to Tokyo. The federal government initiates emergency lockdowns, freezes interstate commerce, attempts to reroute all systems through a blockchain pilot called FedNet. It fails. Shipments stall. Medical supply chains freeze. Hospitals run out of antibiotics within days. Majority of governors declare state sovereignty. Some quietly align with private defense firms, the Pentagon. Fractures. And then the president makes one final broadcast. Then the world never sees them again. 2030 is not loud. It's unnervingly quiet. The apps still work, but nothing underneath them does. There's no federal mail, no unified emergency response, no tax returns. You can still text your cousin in Florida. But crossing state lines, there's no one left to say yes or no. Foreign governments reroute embassies. The UN relocates its New York offices to Geneva. Markets begin referring to the former United States. Inside the borders, there is no war, just drift. The Union doesn't explode, it unspools. From the wreckage, 5 new zones rise, fractured, functional, and fiercely independent. The Atlantic Compact stretches from New York City to DC, a gleaming corridor of hyperconnectivity and elite governance. It doesn't behave like a country. It acts like a global city-state, enclosed, efficient, unyielding. The Red River Trust forms around the old logistics arteries of the South and Midwest. Here, AI licensed corporations run the show, autonomous systems managing autonomous cities. Cold, profitable, unchecked. The reclamation corridor claims the Great Lakes and Rust Belt. It has water, it has farmland, it has power. But in choosing self-sufficiency, it's cut itself off, disconnected from the rest of the continent by design. The Dust Divide runs through Texas and the Southwest, isolated, armed, held together by militia councils and evaporating reservoirs. Survival here isn't promised, it's taken. The Basin Coalition holds the Pacific. Sustainability isn't a slogan, it's law. Technocratic, Chinese-funded, and environmentally obsessed. It governs through algorithms and ocean contracts. Each zone issues its own ID, teaches its own version of history, and defines freedom in ways the others refuse to recognize. Borders are algorithmic. Reality is localized. From outside, the world adjusts. Mexico fortifies its ports. Canada establishes a peacekeeping zone along the former Great Lakes. Scandinavian cyber allies help maintain cross-border stability for a fee. The UN launches a digital citizenship registry, a cloud-based refugee identity service for displaced Americans. 18 million people apply. Meanwhile, America becomes culture. Brands, memes, archived TikToks. Coca-Cola is granted observer status at the 2035 Global Trade Forum. Its spokesperson is synthetic. It speaks only in nostalgic clips. Nobody laughs. But no one tells it to stop. America lives on in two places. The first place, the archives, preserved in Iceland, Korea, and Kenya, encrypted, categorized, viewed like a digital fossil record. The second, the fragments. Counties still holding elections, still flying flags, still believing they're part of something bigger. But the nation is gone. It's a logo now. A vibe. Collapse didn't come with war. It came with replacement. People moved on. Because they had to. In this simulation, the United States doesn't burn. It unspools. It disconnects. And it becomes something else. Not a failed state. A post-state. Held together by bandwidth, branding, and the stories it used to tell. And yet, you're still here in a timeline where the cracks haven't fully split. Not yet. So the question isn't, will it happen? The question is, what do you do before it does?